Welcome to the podcast, where we teach you how to create marketing that pops. Get ready for refreshing conversations with industry experts, trendsetters, and creative minds that'll leave you bubbling with inspiration. Get ready to turn up the volume on your business. Let's get popping. Welcome back to Marketing That Pops. I am Olivia.
And I am Michelle.
And we've been talking about AI a lot lately, and today's going to be no different. We're going to spice some of that in. If you are interested in that, stick around to the end. We have some really cool things in the works for you guys. And if you're heading to MJ BizCon in Las Vegas, be sure to catch Michelle. She's going to be talking about AI and how AI is shaking things up in the cannabis space. It's one of the biggest events in the industry. So if you guys are attending, make sure that you swing by our booth. Our booth number is 5621, and make sure you guys say hi to us. And if you can, make sure that you can stop by Michelle's speaking engagement. So there'll be lots of fun stuff going on there. But today we are joined with the Springbig team. They're the leading cannabis marketing platform, revolutionizing customer engagement for loyalty programs, targeted SMS, and email campaigns. Springbig helps dispensaries build connections with their customers while driving growth and staying compliant, which is very, very important. From the team today, we are joined by Eric and Corey. Eric is the Vice President of Partnerships, and Corey is the Director of Client Growth at Springbig. And we want to say a big thanks for sponsoring this episode. So welcome to the pod, guys.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Very excited to be here.
Awesome. So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what you both do at Springbig?
Yeah, I'll kick things off. So I'm Eric. I'm VP of Partnerships at Springbig. I've been with the company for 6 years now, and I oversee our partnership ecosystem, all of our marketing partnerships, integration partnerships, any initiatives as it pertains to partnerships. And something that I'm really focused on currently is our approach to new verticals that are experiencing the same type of marketing restrictions that cannabis businesses are. I'm excited to get into that topic and just the importance of SMS marketing and how difficult it is as a cannabis operator and an operator in regulated industries.
Awesome.
Good stuff. And I'm Corey Hines. I am Director of Client Growth here at Springbig. Been with the company for a little over 4 years. So, between Eric and I, we got a lot of experience with our retailers and brand partners out there. In terms of my piece at Springbig, my main focus is helping our clients increase their revenue by utilizing the new enhancements into our platform. We like to call it Loyalty 2.0 because these are great enhancements to, make those customers more excited to shop and continue shopping and keep coming and shopping with your retail shop. A few of these enhancements are things like a digital wallet or a digital gift card that's within the customer's app or their wallet experience for their loyalty. This would be something very similar to the Starbucks experience. If anybody has utilized a Starbucks app, you loaded any funds onto their app, went into a Starbucks and utilized it, it is the exact same concept. So we allow our customers to have an additional payment method, which is huge in cannabis. We know how important that is. But that same feature allows those customers to potentially convert their rewards points into cash dollars to also use in shop. So some really cool enhancements that get them keep coming back. Another big piece of my side is the VIP or the subscriptions feature within our platform. Allows our customers to have a VIP perks program like an Amazon Prime, Walmart Plus, where you buy in, you get exclusive benefits. What do we see with that? We see increase in revenue, increase in spend, visits, so on and so forth. We'll get more into detail later. And then another big piece that we're seeing a lot of progress on, and this isn't necessarily a new feature, so to speak, but we work very well with our brands partners, connecting them with the retailers that they do already connect and sell through, but we're allowing them the opportunity to utilize their marketing and get front and center through the dispensary's client list, or at least working with their customers to get more of their product out the door. Kind of a pay to get front and center, like at the grocery stores when Tide pays extra to be right there at that level, right? Or on the end cap. So kind of a similar concept, but really my goal is to help our clients get to a point where they feel super comfortable, where they're just breaking in the cash, but also helping them, create additional business opportunities for themselves.
Very cool. So I'm excited to get into all things Springbig today. But before we do that, every episode we start off with a myth that we like to debunk. So today's no different. And I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this particular myth. All right. So the myth for today is SMS and email marketing are outdated and don't work. What do you guys have to say to that type of myth?
Yeah, I'd like to debunk that right away because I think both for SMS and email, that is both channels are very important in terms of getting your message into the smartphones of your audience. And having that omni-channel approach of having an email channel and an SMS channel, we know that SMS are opened more frequently, quicker, but depending on the demographic, it really depends on the type of channel that they're used to, what they're most comfortable with, if they're opted into SMS. So I think, incorporating a strategy with both SMS and email will really help with conversions.
Yeah, and a good strategy goes a long way. It's not about texting the most, texting the least, or emailing the most, or emailing the least. It's all about the process and how you're getting that information in front of your customers. How are you creating good engagement from your customers? You can email and text all day, right? But if you don't have good engagement, or at least the customers don't understand why it's important for them, it doesn't do as much. But when you see our customers really make, a strong push for utilizing these marketing, these outgoing messages via SMS or email, if they have good engagement with their customers, they are seeing significant increases in spend and purchases, especially when there's exclusive deals or maybe there's a new product that's coming out, right? How do we get that information in front of our customers? There's really only so many ways. You have push notifications, of course, which are great if you have an app, but SMS and email in reality is the only way to really connect with everybody across the country, because everybody has a phone, everybody has an email, I feel like at this point. But it's all about getting that information in front of your customers, and the best way is via text message, email, and we have the data to back it up.
Yeah, and I think just to piggyback that, it's also about sending the appropriate message to the appropriate audience at the right time. So if the software, the tool that you're using has the ability to segment your audience based on trends or habits, whether it's purchase behaviors or visiting behavior, then it's important to use that segmentation to send the right message to the right person at the right time. And I think to also Corey's point, make it captivating, include images, include creative content, make it funny, make it informative, really show off your brand and have some personality. And I think that that'll really lead to the best results.
Right. I think that's a part of it too, is that you have to have the right content for the right people, because just throwing out a message to just spray, just throwing out stuff, and then you have bad engagement. Yeah, that's going to suck, and we don't want to do that, right? We want to personalize it. We want to send it to people that are interested in flour or gummies or, whatever it may be. So we have to think about it, before we're sending stuff to people that may not be interested in those things.
And I think a good example of that also is a lot of our retailers, they're setting up campaigns and segmentation within our platform based on when somebody finishes work, right? Let's say they get off of work at 5, they'll receive a message at 4 promoting flour if they're interested in flour, or edibles if they're interested in edibles, not sending it at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. when by the time they're finished at work, they're going to forget about the promotion, or they'll receive a text message from a competitive dispensary with a deal that's relevant to them at 4 o'clock when they are expecting that message. So yeah, it's definitely important to set up an appropriate campaign cadence.
Mhm.
And along with the cadences too, and I always use myself as an example. And Michelle, you literally touched on exactly what I discuss with my clients and why it's important to segment, right? I'm a big edibles guy. I have never once purchased flour. Like I legitimately have never purchased flour before. Don't send me the flour deal all the time, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy it, which, not offended by receiving a message. I love getting my deals. But eventually, if I can keep getting flour deals and maybe not the edible deal I've been so waiting for, I engage a little less. So what do we do by targeting our clients, right? Now, every time I get a message, because it's targeted, it's something that pertains to me. What am I going to do every time I get a text or an email from y'all? I'm going to open it. I'm going to look and see what's inside, right? So it's all about creating that engagement and setting that good cadence, like Eric had brought up, to make sure that they are looking at that marketing.
Right. Yeah. It's so important to just make sure that it's relevant, right? And you just don't want to be getting those unsubscribes if at all possible, right?
So we talked a little bit about compliance, and I know that that is like one of the biggest concerns when it comes to the cannabis industry. I mean, you have to be compliant. Can you talk a little bit about how Springbig really tries to stay compliant and how you guys have been, implementing these strategies throughout the Springbig platform?
You want to take this?
Yeah, sure. So in terms of staying compliant, we've one of our biggest focuses is the compliance side, because in cannabis, we literally have a gazillion regulations that we all have to follow. You can't do this, can't do that. Even if it seems like the most simple of things, you can't do it in cannabis, right? So, our team has not only put the tools in place, but they also put the team in place, right? So when we talk about compliance and following these regulations, we have a messaging team that makes sure that we follow every, regulation to the T in terms of what content is allowed, how we're sending these messages, the numbers they're tied to, how they're registered in terms of our customers being registered with the correct companies. Our team really has, our join form, right? It's fully compliant. You have to collect signature. They have to check the box to opt in. That's a big piece of compliance on the TCPA front, right? We want to make sure all of our clients are properly registered, so they do have the ability to send text messages with the correct content in it. Our entire platform is built to not allow our customers to do anything uncompliant. One of the big parts of our SMS platform, or at least the SMS feature, is the ability to create what we call a stash board, right? So the customers have the ability to, add their information in there, whether it's cannabis content or not. But because we're safely protected within that stash board, the SMS is safe because we don't have the cannabis content within that piece, right? So our team does everything we can to make sure that every piece of compliance is touched. TCPA, HIPAA, because we work with a lot of medical dispensaries, of course, out there. And then, really just following the regulations for loyalty, because every state is different with what you can and can't receive in terms of discounts, deals, so on and so forth. Our platform is built to follow these regulations.
Yeah, so I think to piggyback off of Corey, our platform is designed, especially just on the SMS side, because it's very difficult to send text messages. The carriers, the aggregators are constantly filtering and using AI to crawl and monitor those marketing campaigns. So we help our clients with 10 DLC registration, which is really important moving forward. And then also, and something that's been happening in the industry is like figuring out what you can and can't say in the body of the SMS. And that's something that our platform is designed to help mitigate, is to not have to figure out what the carriers are filtering. So we basically come up and we have a messaging team that's constantly working with the carriers to make sure that the content that our clients are sending is compliant, and we build out templates on behalf of our clients that are compliant, tested, and make sure and ensures the highest possible deliverability. And it basically just mitigates the dispensaries and our clients to help figure out, what they can and can't say in their content. So the 400 to 500 templates, and this is constantly being added to that they can just choose from and not have to think about, is my message going to deliver? Is this going to get my business flagged? And helps with the deliverability and the effectiveness of the campaign.
Yeah. I mean, I am doing a lot of the text message marketing for some of my clients, and that piece right there is so helpful to not have to figure out like, oh, should I put this here? Can I put the name of the business in here? You guys make it so simple to just be able to grab one of those templates and just really plug and chug when you're building out your campaigns. It's really nice. And I have noticed that that feature isn't really available on some of the other platforms that we use for other clients. And so that's really nice that you guys include that. That's a game for sure.
And then like, I know like in the past, like when I was doing some of it as well, it's like, if it doesn't get delivered, you guys do not charge, correct? Is that how that works? Or is that not true? How does that work if it doesn't get delivered?
Well, it depends on the situation, right? So keep in mind that whether a message is delivered or not, it still costs money to all of us.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, when it comes to the deliverability side, our team, like we said, we have all these items in place to increase our deliverability, and we have some, new things coming soon to even heighten that. But when it comes to undelivered messages, if we're in that 90, 92, 93 percentile, which is what we're seeing, we don't really think about the messages that didn't necessarily go through at that time. So it's not that you're not charged, because everybody is charged. Like even if we send a failed message, if you have a failed credit card, for example, there's still a charge that's associated with that. Okay. So, it's not that they aren't charged for a credit if something is undelivered, but if, let's say, they have a significant undelivered percentage, we're going to credit that back. We're not going to penalize our customers for something that's not anybody's fault regardless. But if it's a small amount, we don't really think about it too much because we look at the overall for the entire client base that they would have. But we're not really seeing significant undelivered messages at this point. Our team has really put so much in place. Do we even talk about deliverability anymore? I feel like it's not even, we don't really discuss it in terms of like our side. We're not the messaging team, that's their focus, but we don't have concerns about deliverability at this point because our team gives us that type of confidence.
Yeah. I don't even think it's popped up in a long time. So
yeah, and I think based on what we just talked about, like with the templated messages, we test them with the carriers, so we know that each campaign that our clients are sending out is compliant, and our deliverability has been on average of like 92, 93% for months, even on 420, the week of 420, when the volume is, is the highest it is all year. We're seeing the best deliverability that we've seen in years. So I know deliverability has been iffy in the past, but because we've nailed down such a bulletproof strategy at this point, our clients are seeing the best deliverability it's seen. But we're monitoring each campaign, and if a campaign fails, we'll totally work with the client.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And what's really nice is, like I have an account rep that I work with at Springbig, and sometimes maybe there's a message that I'm like, hey, I wonder if we could have this message. And a lot of times I'll look and I'm like, oh, there's one. Like there was one for the Olympics and I didn't even have to like come up with something. So that was really awesome. But I have worked with my account rep, like, hey, can we make a message like this? And then you guys are able to, take it to those different agitators to see like, hey, is this going to be compliant or not? And we've been able to have some custom messages built out too. So that's been really cool.
Definitely. So we have, like I said, we have a large library of pre-built templates. That's very easy, to your point, plug and play. If you don't want to think about, the marketing message and you want to just, send a campaign without thinking about the compliance of it all, you can totally do so. But we also have the ability to get custom campaigns approved by our messaging team, which of course we want to be able to provide as much creative freedom to our clients as possible. So we want to give them as many options as possible, but we also want to provide them some freedom as well to be able to get their content approved by our team.
Mhm.
And our team also approves images too. So if you want to do an MMS to go along with your SMS, of course, there's regulations around that. So another piece is not only can we approve or at least do the testing for the SMS, but also the MMS and the image there.
Yeah. I think that's been another cool thing that's come out too, is we've been able to do some custom images for our clients, and it just keeps things consistent. And, you know, us as marketers, we like that. We want everything to be consistent and on brand. So we love that.
Right.
So we've been talking a lot about compliance, but can you tell us like some success stories for people who have like implemented like the Springbig platform? Maybe they were using something different and then they brought you guys on, and maybe it kind of changed their company.
Yeah, actually, I have literally this past, it was Monday, I was meeting with one of our clients. I wouldn't say they're a small shop, but they're not a multi-state operator. They're more on that, they see maybe 500-600 customers a week. And they had recently switched to our platform about 2 months ago. And, we did our onboarding process. We set up a couple of the, cool features that we provide. And they told me on Monday, they're like, Corey, ever since we started doing our campaigns and we have these really cool auto connects in terms of that cadence for when they're receiving their messages, they've seen an increase. Now, mind you, they were guessing on the number. They think it's more, but they saw at least a 25% increase in sales. And this is, mind you, going off of just 2 weeks. So imagine that's just the beginning. They haven't even really gotten started yet. And I mean, for me as somebody who's directly involved with growing their revenue, that makes me so happy to see this, smaller shop that maybe doesn't have the same type of support. And the other really cool thing about them is they are a social equity client of ours. So they're minority owned. So we're giving them this opportunity they did not have before to get in front of more of their customers. And they literally they went up last week to the week after. They went up by 100 visits for new customers. And this is a newish shop. They're about 7 months old. And the program they were using prior to us was not working for the first 4 months. And then they made the switch and they've seen significant increases. And we're about to launch their new VIP program. I can't tell you, they're so excited they won't stop calling me about it, right? So there's a lot of really cool stuff that we can provide our customers to help them get to the point they want to be at. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think just to piggyback off of that, and this is a pretty good segue into other industries that we're focused on, is so we were actually working with a skilled gaming company called Game Story, and they basically own and have developed 2 apps where players can play. I think it's like solitaire and some of those skilled gaming applications for money. And they were using a solution, an SMS solution, prior to moving forward with Springbig, and they were seeing really poor deliverability. Their deliverability, specifically in the last year and a half, has been impacted due to those shaft regulations and the same regulations that cannabis operators were experiencing as it pertains to SMS. And we started working with them. We integrated with their CDP CRM. And just in the first month, we improved their deliverability from an average of, I think it was like 40 to 50% on average to 90+%. We improved their click-through rate from 2.5% to 15%. And I think something that's really interesting in their CMO reported that we increased their return on ad spend by 250%. And we decreased their re-engagement costs from $100 to $15. And in the first month, they were able to re-engage over 3,200 paying customers just through improved deliverability, the timing and the effectiveness of the campaign, and the overall compliance of our platform that helped with their deliverability. So, yeah, that's a really cool case study that I wanted to share with you guys today.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. One thing that we are always harping about on our podcast is talking about analytics and reporting, because we can do all of these great campaigns and have all this good stuff. But if we have no data or like reporting tools to be able to like back it up and show our customers or our clients, I guess I should say, like, hey, this is what we're actually doing, then it doesn't really do anything. So one of the things that I really find great about Springbig is like the analytics and reporting tools that you guys already have built into the platform. Can we talk about how you guys have been able to, even I think it's just so cool how you can see like, oh, this person just shopped in our store and they clicked on this email. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and kick things off. So I really think it's a testament to our integrations with our point of sale and other systems, and the strength of the integration. So I know integration is a buzzword in the industry, and people can either say syncs or integrations, and the integration itself and the technology and the development is really important. So the fact that everything within Springbig is real time, there's no delay in the API calls or when the transaction is being made at the store. So we're integrated with over 30 of the top cannabis point of sales, and all of those integrations are in real time. So we know when a customer is shopping, how much they're spending, and all of this and all of the data is passed over to Springbig in real time. And then we built out a reporting infrastructure on the campaign reporting side. So the reporting and then the dashboards and then the reporting APIs that we provide, the deliverability, the click-throughs, the conversions, all of the reporting is in real time, which I think is really important. And I think sometimes in this industry it's overlooked. I've heard instances where reporting is sent a day later or an hour later, but I think it's especially in this industry and especially just being in the marketing world, having real-time insights is extremely important to know the effectiveness of the campaign. If they need to pivot, A/B testing is also an extremely popular just SOP amongst our clients. So if you're A/B testing, it's important to look at those catalysts reporting in real time in order to make informed decisions moving forward.
Yeah, and what's really cool about the data is the way it breaks down, right? You can see when, based on a certain campaign, when did these customers shop in that time frame after receiving this campaign? I mean, that's huge because that could kind of gauge, hey, the next time, let's send the message out at this exact same time because everybody came at this time, whatever, right? Or let's send it more around lunch because that's when people are coming in. Kind of like how Eric had mentioned earlier, when we're targeting them based on, let's say they get off of work, hit them at 4. So it gives you that breakdown. You can see the percentages. What categories are these people purchasing? What brands are they purchasing? The great thing to look at there is, hey, like we always crush flour and we always crush this. Let's maybe do a push for edibles on the next one, right? You can even see just the engagement levels with the click-through rates. Of course, we talk about this all the time. Or you can also, there's opt-out reports that are also included as part of this. We never want to see opt-out reports, right? But they are so important to understanding the power of that campaign. If you have a ton of opt-outs, do not send that campaign again, or at least figure out what was wrong with the campaign. But if you see no opt-outs, like, hey, this campaign worked, nobody got freaked out or wanted to jump off, they liked the deal, you can see how many people are using their vouchers or whatever is being provided as part of that campaign. So it's just beautiful to have this data in real time because it's rolling, right? They can go back every other hour and check and see what it's updated to. And they can use this information to be better on the next one, right? Which creates what? Higher engagement, which creates what? More sales, more revenue, happier customers, more excited customers, right? So the data is just so important, and those integrations, and Eric has been a big proponent to our integrations with our partnership stuff. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have some of these great partners and integrations that we do have. So I did want to shout it out there, buddy. But obviously, data is just so important to this industry, and it's so hard to get good data nowadays.
Yeah, I love it, and I like get geeked out about it. But then sometimes I get frustrated because we have this data and we talk to clients about it, and then they don't do anything about it. Or yeah, that's great, but they get busy with the day-to-day and then they don't pay attention to it. So do you see that with other people or other clients where they're like, yeah, and then they don't really take advantage of changing things because of the data?
Yeah,
Or-
100%. And I think it's no secret that the last year and a half has been difficult for the cannabis industry. And a lot of our clients have become a little bit more resource constrained than they used to, back in the golden era of 2020, 2021, when capital was flowing into the industry and dispensaries were thriving. So I think with our partnership with you guys in ThrivePOP, we've built out this year a certification program for our marketing agencies to become really familiar with the Springbig platform. And Springbig is the SaaS tool. We provide the software, but it's up to the client to provide and implement strategies on a going forward basis. So it's really cool that you guys took advantage of the certification program. You guys were the first ones to take advantage of it. And it's, it behooves our clients, if they're using Springbig, to make the most out of it. There's a lot of really cool and intricate features within our platform as it pertains to the loyalty configuration and automation and segmentation. So marketing teams at our clients are wearing a lot of different hats, where they're managing their, e-commerce marketing and their in-store promotions and inventory and all of that good stuff. So keeping a constant focus on the Springbig platform in a silo is something that has become increasingly difficult over the last year and a half with our clients. So having a certified agency that's comfortable with our platform, experienced in marketing, and can optimize the platform on behalf of our clients is something that has been working really well since we launched the certification program. And I'm hoping you guys can chat a little bit about that today and some success that you guys have seen with our clients and utilizing our platform.
Yeah, I think that, we have seen like more and more that a lot of the dispensaries, this is what happens. They try to get somebody, we're going to hire somebody internally to do marketing. Well, then that person ends up being a bud tender and an order taker and they got to go to the grow room, and then but they're going to do social media. And then all of a sudden, they're going to do the email marketing, and then can you guys just help us, and you do this and you do this, and so we just say, let us just like handle this and this and this, and we'll do it, and we'll just handle things. And but what I like to do is just like handle everything in Springbig, and because the auto connects are so awesome, those are a no-brainer, right? Like to set up like the birthdays, the 10th visit, the anniversaries, like once you get those set up, they just go, right? And then you don't have to think about it anymore. And then every single new client that comes in, it's just like it's happening. And those are nice because you're getting those like reminders. And then I know like for one of our clients, we did some big event, and that was an awesome auto connect thing that we did, and we get like super creative with it. But I know that our clients just don't have time, and so we have clients that are doing like a few a week, and they really just depend on us. And we have a team of graphic designers that they really like know the program and so forth. So it's really a big part of our business now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead, Olivia.
I was just going to say, we have one client that you guys built out an app for. And so we've been really working on getting their customers on the app. Because one, like you guys said, it gets into their hands the quickest with the push notifications. And we have seen some really good results with that. And, we're just trying to continue to get people on there. But we've been able to do some really cool things by offering specific, rewards or offers to customers who download the app. So it's kind of like an exclusive thing. So it's been really great to have these Springbig tools, all of the auto connects, like Michelle was saying, the offers. I mean, everybody likes to get those rewards, like you were saying with the Starbucks rewards. Everybody loves that.
Mm-hmm. And that location, they have like 7 or 8 locations too. Olivia, are you able to do different things for the different locations, or does it have to be like the same, like at all locations? I wasn't sure how that works.
Yeah, right now we're focusing on just like kind of thinking it as like a universal thing. But we might start doing some things that are just specific to like specific locations. But right now we're just trying to build that audience to get them over onto the app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's a few different ways you can get more people downloading the app. You already mentioned the reward for downloading the app. Obviously, that's a huge one. We've seen significant increases in downloads just from something simple like that. But another one of our clients in Washington State, when they launched their app, they had so many downloads because they started saying, hey, you want to join our loyalty program? Download our app. Because the app, once they download it, if they're a member, it goes based off of their phone number. It lets them sign right into their account. If they're not a member, they have to sign up first to be able to access the app. So there's a couple of different ways we can get more people using the app. So one being the offer, like you were saying. Another great way to do it is say, hey, you want to be a part of our program, you get your push notifications, make sure you download our app and sign up there, right? So there's a few different cool ways you can get more downloads for sure.
Yeah, and I think just to piggyback off of that, it's definitely important to encourage app downloads when you're in the store. But just to have a full circle moment here to talk about the myth, what's the best way to encourage app downloads? SMS and emailing, promoting the app. So
Absolutely.
Right.
So
yeah. And I don't know if we really talked about this, but part of like using Springbig is not only text and email, but when you sign up with Springbig, they also build an app for you. So it's not like this app is, you have to go to a separate web development company and they build the app. Springbig builds it with your package that you do with Springbig. So I just thought I should mention that. So
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 to that point, having everything centralized within Springbig, if you're sending out SMS and emails through us already, and then you decide to build an app with us, within the Springbig UI, you can create the campaigns for SMS, for email, for push notifications, all in the same spot. So you're not, shifting through different tabs to come up with different campaigns for different type of channels. Everything is centralized, which I think makes it easier for our clients.
Yeah. It definitely makes it easier for me. I love it.
Yeah, and of course, the fact that we're building the app means that integrations, right? Like we talk about integrations and how everything flows in real time. The fact that we are the ones that created the app for you, built it out, your customers are downloading it, all the loyalty, everything that is tied in Springbig platform flows through the app, right? So it's a really nice, easy process because we also don't have to worry about another integration to make sure that it works properly. So the benefits of having an app through us, along with the branding side of it, is really just the fact that it's all fully connected to make it seamless all around.
Yeah, and I think just to piggyback off of that, Springbig, we release features all the time. So new features would just be hosted within the app just through an app update, not having to work with a separate third party to implement another cool feature that was just released. Everything that we released will be released in real time for our clients, which I think makes it easy also.
And the actual example of that would be our clients that are currently, let's say they have their app already live and they're like, hey, Corey, we really want to have this digital wallet. We really want to run a VIP program. All we're doing is strategizing and game planning it, and then we're just turning it on into the in the app for the customers. So all we do is come up with a good launch date. When it comes to strategizing with digital wallets, it's a little bit more simpler because it's like, hey, we just want this payment option out there. But when it comes to the VIP program, we're strategizing the launch and what benefits are going to be included. But what's nice is we turn the feature on, it shows up in the app like it's supposed to. They can sign up, and any of those benefits that would be available to them as a paid member, for example, automatically throw into their offers page or as a part of their rewards. It's all automated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to bring up, just so that everybody knows, is there's this feature that a brand can pay for an email or text campaign for you. So it's called like a brand's marketplace. So for example, say Wanna Brands, if they are in the brand's marketplace and you're like, oh, hey, I'm a dispensary and I carry Wanna Brands, and hey, they're in this marketplace. I'm going to do an email for Wanna Brands. Hey, they'll pay for it. And I'll just, select them and request them, and they'll like say yes or no. Okay, we'll do it. And then I'll send a campaign and then they pay for it. So tell me, am I getting it right? Is that exactly how it works?
Similar, yeah. So in a nutshell, yes. So there's a couple different ways we facilitate the connection, right? Obviously, most of our clients, if they're selling the product, they have a general connection to that brand already. What's really nice about the brand's marketplace is it shows what brands in their state want to sponsor campaigns, or at least are willing to sponsor campaigns. Our brands can actually preemptively set it up, like they put out a request and it'll ping all of our customers that they want that request to go to, and they can basically accept the partnership or at least doing the campaign sponsorship. So the brands can facilitate, the customer can facilitate through the brand's marketplace. Let's say there's a brand in the brand's marketplace they don't carry. We have a button that they can ping the brand to get more information on potentially providing inventory for them. So there's a lot of really cool features in the brand's marketplace. Not just the fact that they can sponsor campaigns and be front and center of this marketing that they're utilizing the dispensaries for, but they're also getting front and center of even dispensaries that don't potentially sell their product. Or even if the dispensary doesn't realize that they're doing these types of promotions, they can access that information directly through the brand's marketplace. It's all right there in the platform, and it's super easy. They can make a request, the brand can make a request. We also have my partner, Hannah, who is phenomenal, if you guys haven't met her before, but she also facilitates these conversations with our major brands like Stizzy and Wana. These major brands have huge teams. It's really hard to get the right person, but my gal Hannah knows everybody, right? So she's getting these conversations in front of our dispensaries to help facilitate these sponsor messages. The other big piece is the fact that it saves money for the dispensary as well. So if they look at their budget and maybe their budget is tightening, like we've been talking about going on in the cannabis industry, those brands can help facilitate to at least get an additional message out per month that maybe they'd be missing because they had to lower their marketing budget.
Yeah, I think just to piggyback off of that, and especially in the current times that we're in, it's really important for retailers to partner up with their brand partners, the products that they carry within the store. It really helps with throughput within the store, and then it also helps the retailer save on their marketing budget. So some strategies that we've seen is a retailer working with Wana or Wild to sponsor a Medical Monday campaign, working with Verano on a Flower Friday campaign, and this would really help mitigate some of their marketing cost. And also, if they're already carrying the product in the store, the brand will essentially pay for that sponsorship, just like how Tide pays Target to be front and center on their app. So
Yep.
It's just a win-win-win for the retailer, for the brand. It strengthens the relationship between the retailer and the brand, and ultimately encourages brand loyalty within a retail environment.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, what about when they come and do like demo days or pop-up days? Is that something you could reach out to them and say, hey, we're doing a vendor day. Is that something you'd be interested in doing for us as well?
Yeah, a lot of our clients, when they have those vendor days, it would be smart for the brand to get as many people into the shop as possible. So the brand will sponsor a campaign, let's say the day before, maybe the Monday before the Friday of their vendor day. Hey, big vendor day for Stizzy, Verano products, blah, 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 blah. Come in, try a few samples. Maybe they get an extra discount on those specific products too, but it gets more people in the store for that vendor day. Why is the vendor there? To interact, right? If we're not bringing people into the store to interact with, what's the point of the vendor day? So these marketing campaigns are great because if we have good engagement, those people will be like, oh, shoot, I love Stizzy. I'm going to get my butt in there so I can make sure I get, a Stizzy sample and get a discount on it, right? So the vendor days are huge, and I think they're super valuable just because it creates a different, there's product knowledge. In cannabis, we all like to actually understand kind of what's going on. Some of us don't, but I like to understand what's going on when I'm, taking a certain edible. I would love to have a little education from the Stizzy rep to understand about their carts or their flower, whatever, right? So, it's just, vendor days can be hugely important on the educational standpoint, but also with getting that brand front and center for the shop through those campaigns and the vendor day.
And then I also think from a customer acquisition perspective, I think the industry, as it matures, we're finding that customers are affiliating more with a brand than a retailer. We're finding that retailers typically carry the same type of brands or SKUs, and customers are becoming more affiliated with the brand rather than the retailer. Mm-hmm. So if a customer, let's say I'm a big Stizzy fan, and I notice that a retailer that I've never been to before is having a Stizzy vendor day where I can get Stizzy at a discount, that'll encourage me to visit the store for the first time. And then once I shop and once I'm in the store, I think it's up to the retailer to enroll me into loyalty and convert me as a customer moving forward, piggybacking off of the brand that attracted me as a loyal, brand customer to that store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
I wanted to bring some things full circle with, we mentioned AI, and you guys are always coming up with new features from Springbig and introducing them on the platform. One thing that I noticed, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like it's been probably like 5-6 months since you guys have added that AI feature into the platform. Can you talk a little bit about how that helps with just with the AI that you guys have introduced?
Yeah, definitely. So we implemented an AI tool that helps come up with campaign content and ideas. And the AI that we're using basically keeps the messages and the templates that they generate compliant pertaining to the SMS regulations. So it's just another tool and another easy way for our clients to come up with pre-approved templates that they can send out, rather than thinking about the content and the copy and implementing it into the campaign. So really helps save time when coming up with different campaigns. And something that I also wanted to touch on today as it pertains to AI is our partnerships with AI companies and technologies in the cannabis space. We have really cool integrations and partnerships with companies like Terply and Pluggy, which are product recommendation and AI bud tender tools, which can really help customers save time and learn about products that they are potentially interested in and looking for based on certain criteria that they're looking for, whether it's a type of feeling that they're looking for or a type of effect that they're looking for. And this is something that these AI bud tender tools can essentially accomplish for them. And the way that Springbig comes into play is awarding loyalty points and encouraging the use of those tools, which I think will help introduce these clients to more products that they're looking for. There's tons of SKUs. It's very difficult. And me as an experienced shopper, when I shop at a retailer, even online, there's so many SKUs, so many brands. I get overwhelmed as a customer. So these AI tools make it very easy for me to find what I'm looking for, and then I get awarded for interacting with the tool with loyalty and offers that's integrated with Springbig.
And I'll say what's really cool about some of these AI tools too is I'm the guy here who doesn't have the specific cannabis knowledge, like all the terpenes and all the craziness in terms of like what's going into the actual product. I know what I like. And the beautiful thing about these AI tools is I can tell it what I like, and it can spit out a different product that maybe I've never actually tried before, which is so cool, right? So now I have a new product in front of me. Maybe I love it and I start buying it more. These AI tools can actually help customers who maybe aren't as well informed with different product or any knowledge like that to actually understand what it is that they're looking for, what it is that they want. Oh, I want to be, sleepy and hungry and giggle a lot, right? Okay, this is the strain that'll work best for you. I don't know what, but I love these AI tools because it's giving us an opportunity to kind of make things a little bit more unique in different ways. And what I mean by that is, with our SMS tool, the AI will actually spit out multiple versions of the same, let's say, statement, right? Like, hey, thanks for coming in today. Another one would say, hey, we're so glad you came in today. It will give you different options. So that way your customers aren't necessarily getting the exact same message every time. So it differentiates a little bit. It feels a little bit more personalized in a way, right? So it creates a uniqueness, which is good. But then it also allows our customers the ability to learn a little bit more without having, I don't know, AI is just cool because you can learn without knowing what to ask, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
Yeah, and also I think just something that will help move this industry forward in general is helping the kind of curious customer figure out what they like and what they want, especially as markets become more mature, more retailers are opening and they're competing for the same customers that are already shopping for cannabis and like product. But really, it's about helping the kind of curious find out what they like and help converting them into becoming an actual cannabis shopper, which I think will really help just increase loyalty, increase the list size, and increase revenue.
So, like, for the extra points, by using Terply, is that something that they get notified, or it's just, hey, if they use that, like, is it like in the app on the website, or is it just kind of an automatic thing?
Yeah, so their tools are built off of the website. So let's say you're shopping on a customer's site, they're using a Dutchie e-commerce menu or an iHeartJane menu. Right on the menu, there'll be a little tab at the bottom. You'll click it, and then it'll basically just serve as a pop-up, a set of questions that'll very simple questions to ask, what you're looking for, price points, all that good stuff. And then based on what you input, it'll spit out using AI the best products that the store is carrying based off of their iHeartJane or their Dutchie menu. So it makes sure that they're carrying the products in the store and the inventory stocked. And then based on the criteria that the customer inputs in the flow, it'll input the recommendation. So what's really cool, to my earlier point about the kind of curious, if they're shopping online, there will be a call to action as they're going through the flow to input their email or their phone number to enroll into loyalty, enroll into SMS. So these AI tools also become a customer acquisition tool, and then they can get awarded loyalty or different incentives by going through the AI bartender flow.
And basically what's happening is Springbig is recognizing, let's say, where they're signing up from, right? Because we can track where people sign, because, we do all the unique QR codes, unique sharing links, all that stuff. So what's really happening in the background, in simple terms, Springbig is saying, okay, Corey signed up through Terply's AI tool, here's the bonus 100 points for utilizing the tool. So what we're doing is, because of our integrations, is tracking where they're coming from, which provides the bonus automatically for them.
Yeah. And then also that provides the ROI, the Terply, to say, hey, I paid this much a month for Terply, is worth the money, right? So that's a bonus.
Yeah,
and then it also shows, okay, these were the results for Terply. So say it was this particular product, and then you're segmenting. So okay, this particular client wanted this, or the results were this product. Let's start sending them emails about this product. So it's specific. So yeah, cool.
And then something also, just to piggyback off of Corey, because we're tracking the joint source, we would know that that particular customer interacted with Terply or the AI bud tender, so that from a marketing perspective, moving forward, you could retarget them from an SMS or an email perspective, saying, "Hey, it's been a while. Check out, our AI bud tender that you love." And basically just serving a reminder that they have this type of tool to basically redirect them back to their website, back to the AI bud tender to help them find products that are suitable for them.
Yeah, one other thing I was thinking with that Terply, which I think it's cool. I've been talking about it for a couple of years with clients, is that it also could be used as training for new bud tenders. So say like you hire a bud tender, they don't even know, they've never used it before, they know nothing about cannabis. Just as okay, here's this product, what is it? Like you just start like plunking in like different questions, and then it just helps like train them on different products. And okay, I'm a client and these are the effects I want. I plunk it in. What's my results? Okay, this is what the product would be.
Yeah, and honestly, training tools are so important. We also find value in training, and AI training is just cool because, like you said, a bud tender could come in, they can learn about terpenes just by utilizing AI. Maybe they don't know the right questions to ask, but training tools are so important. And I'm going to plug another piece of our platform here too, is the Springbig University, which that's where you guys got your certification from as a marketing member or partner. But Springbig University is another great tool, right? You just search, hey, what do I need to figure out today? How this integration works, or how to load a reward, or use a reward. We have everything listed in our training material. So just kind of tying back into why training is important. Obviously the AI will help with that too. So I think there's just so many cool features across the board that really can put our clients in a whole nother position for their business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we have talked about so many things today. You guys have so many great things on the platform. Obviously, we are big proponents of it. We love it. So if you guys are interested in Springbig, definitely check it out. Go to springbig.com to learn more. And if you want to get in touch with Eric or Corey, we'll have their information in the show notes below. So we want to give a big thanks to Springbig for joining us today. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. Thanks for being on the pod.
Thank you. Couldn't have been more excited to be here, and really enjoyed being here with you guys today.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you. So make sure you guys check us on our next episode. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening with us today. Stay tuned for the latest in web marketing and design from ThrivePOP. Want to be a pop star? Head over to thrivepop.com/podcast to join our mailing list for episode notifications, sneak peeks, listener feedback, and more.